Hey, yo, everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video. And today we're going to be doing a tour of my room, or my man cave, or my fortress of solitude, whatever you want to call it, because bloody hell, you can't call it bat cave. It's upstairs if it's in the attic, for lack of a better term. Now, I'm going to make this as quick as possible, at least the introduction, then we're going to go take a look. A few things real quickly. One is because I'm on this iPad, I'm not going to show you my face. I mean, I can go back and forth like this, but you're seeing morning Andrew. This is Andrew that stayed up late playing Dungeons and Dragons with his boys and kind of fell asleep like at 1 o'clock watching Dragon Ball Z. That's something I'm going to get into later in another video. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this room, kind of give you a gist or idea of the layout. It's still work in progress, but when my wife and I we moved to this house, I made her a deal. You give me the upstairs, that's all I want. You can do whatever you want with the downstairs. That's completely your territory. If you want everything to be pink, you make it pink. She made a good part of it pink. Pink and yellow. But anyways. The room is still work in progress, so you're seeing what is, lack of a better term, a beta. A year's worth of beta, for lack of a better term. But, so, I started on this because this is a nice little decoration that I got from one of my schools that I took karate at, and when the school got transferred to another teacher, and I left the school to go to, kind of to follow the grandmaster of my style, or at least my particular schools that I go to, my old sensei let me take this, and I always thought it was cool, so I kind of just hung it up here. But to give you kind of a overall view, there's the stairs right here to go up into it. You got this nice little hallway with a lot of my clothes that I have to fold because we were just doing laundry, or I was. My wife's out at the moment with the kid, but to lock up. And so I basically wanted to showcase different aspects of my interest or life in this room. Put a lot more effort than I probably should. So on this wall, going up, we have all my belts and the diplomas that go with them. So this is white through brown. And then on this wall here, I have my first black belt diploma, and then rising upward all the other degrees afterwards, all the way up to 5th degree, which I'm at right now. And then Professor Nick Serio, who is probably one of the biggest name in Kempo. He's passed away back in '98, I think it was. And then we have a chunk, or at least of what I could find of my trophies from when I did tournaments. So, yeah. Quite a bit of them. And like I said, to go all the way up to brown belt, and we have them hanging here. This room right here is more of a storage room for now, so just ignore that. It's eventually going to turn into my wife's craft room, but there's a lot of old stuff that needs to be taken out. So ignore that. So this wall here is going to change, but this is kind of the wall of people that I met. And then we have a lot of photos down here that I need to put up. This is also where I kind of store the con books while I'm sorting everything out and bagging and boarding. So right down here you can see this needs to be bagged and board. This needs to be bagged and board. But I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I might make a photo book of this because I have a lot more photos. I went to a lot more cons since I started putting these up, which I'm going to go into cons later. So I'm going to give you a panoramic view. Is that what you call it? Panoramic view? I guess. Of the room. And then we're going to start, might as well start right here. Seeing this is the Power Ranger section. So again, this room is still kind of a mess. I'm also selling some of my figures that I put in a box, which is located down there. So, again, work in progress. But this is the Power Ranger section. So, I've broken up into a couple of sections. Right here, you have the Jason section. Everything Jason, because he is my favorite Ranger. Love those SH figure art figures. And then underneath is the other 5 Mighty Morphins. I need to build those up. Still work in progress with those. After that, Tommy, just because there's a lot of Tommy figures in Zeo. And then underneath that, we've got some of the Legacy stuff. We got the regular Legacy Morpher, the movie, the Green White Ranger Morpher, and then the movie White Ranger Morpher. Which kind of pissed me off because why make a White Ranger movie Morpher and have just the, you know, 2 White Ranger coins rather than have all the Ninja coins. It really bring everything together. And then some of the legacy Zords, Tiger Zord, Ultra Zord, Black and Gold, Megazord. And at the top, this is miscellaneous. We have villains, some extra Jasons. You can't go wrong with more Jasons. And then the Tiger Thunder Zord, Megazord. This is an old one. I bought it at a store, and it was one of those sucky ones where all the legs come apart. It's more lights and sounds than anything. So that was a bad purchase on my part. But hey, we live and learn. Now, this is the miscellaneous section of stuff. So we got Captain Jean-Luc Picard, because he is the man and everyone should know it. And Buddy Christ right behind him. Underneath that, I decided with Star Wars I'm going to stick to just Luke Skywalker and everything revolving around Luke Skywalker because he's my favorite character. So we have all different Lukes here, from his fighter pilot in Rebel Alliance to his Jedi. Got some vintage in there, some Kenner, some all different kind of stuff. We have Luke over here. This is miscellaneous, and Mara Jade, because even though she doesn't consider it to be canon anymore, I still love her. Then we have The Rock, the People's Champ. So I have a small collection of The Rock figures because he's my favorite wrestler of all time. And then there's Randy Orton in the background. My wife got me that, so I kept it way long ago. This was back when we first started dating, like 10 years ago. And then the Maximals. Love Beast Wars. It's my favorite Transformers. Still have my G1 figures somewhere. I'm going to figure out how I'm going to place them out. But there's the Maximals and the Predacons. You notice both Dinobots are in the center because he's my favorite. These are just some box figures. So I have a couple box figures floating around stuff. These are from the... these are just mostly Star Wars. So you have the Black Series, X-Wings, and Millennium Falcon, and the Evolutions of the Jedi. And this is mostly just Luke figures. All Luke figures from the Kenner. Well, and Mara Jade and Dash Rendar, because I love them both. Kenner, you got some of the newer stuff here. And then the new Force Awakens, which that's like the only decent Luke figure. Down there we got some Magic cards and some Yu-Gi-Oh! I have 1 deck of each, both of which are pretty good decks for the format that they were in back in the Dizzle. These are pictures that artists drew of my characters from D&D. So these are not pictures that I drew, but of other artists. So this is Angelus, my main character, and some pretty good pictures here. And this is Lacey. These two right here, this one and this one, were done by the same artist. So I'm trying to build a wall because as much as I like drawing the figures, it's always kind of cool to get someone else's interpretation. So one of the great things about comics is you get different interpretations. We got some posters right here. So this is more or less a non-Zelda section, although there is one Zelda poster there, but that's just because I ran out of room over here. We'll get to that wall when we get to it. But these are more or less posters that I've collected or GameStop just gave me for free. Here's my Pokemon cards section, my 2 completed decks, 2 decks I'm working on for fun, actually 3 decks I'm working on for fun, and miscellaneous cards I have to sort, and those are the binders with all the cards, and my collection has grown exponentially. It's ridiculous. And then I got those. I don't buy the tins, but I bought those because they're the 3 starters. I know I wanted them. So these are all the figures I'm kind of going through, seeing what I want, what I don't want, and what I'm going to sell. These are some my favorite Zelda posters that I had framed. I just don't know where to put them because bloody hell, they're encumbersome, incredibly. But that's the Symphony of the Goddess one, and that one came from the guidebook. This is where I'm putting all my my graphic novels. And I've kind of, divided them up. Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, Justice League, all that fun stuff. I've got 2 shelves here. And luckily, everything fit in pretty well. Up top, I got some figures. I have box TMNT figures, all Leonardo. I got G.I. Joe. Underneath, I got some more Turtles. And then my only Marvel section. Yes, I have a Marvel section, which is primarily Captain America, because he's my favorite Marvel character. And then Wolverine and She-Hulk in the back, because I like Wolverine and She-Hulk. They're cool cats. So moving on, this section is kind of my collectible section. This is where a lot of my boxed stuff goes. So we have all my signature things from like Comic Cons, like with Austin St. John, with Kevin Conroy, the picture I took with Amy Jo Johnson, and then underneath is going to be all my signed comics, which I can go through at some time if you guys want. And then underneath, so these are all just Green Rangers and Tommy-based things that I got, because you never know when I might meet Jason David Frank, although I really don't want to meet him. I have no interest, but these are all either box figures that I want to keep nice and boxed, or things that I've had signed. Most importantly is I have the SH Figure Arts here. And with the exception of David Yost for the Blue Ranger, I have one of every Ranger signed. In particular, I'm pretty proud of getting both of this signed by Amy Jo Johnson and Catherine Sutherland. But I got signatures from Austin St. John, Walter Jones, Amy Jo Johnson, Catherine Sutherland, Karen Ashley. The only one I'm missing right now is just David Yost, and I would have one of each color. And then I did meet Steve Cardenas, so I got his signature here on the movie figure. A lot of other ones got Gold Ranger figures signed, and these are just a bunch of things that I want to keep protected, so I put them in this chest. I'm going to try to find a better way to store them at some point, but I haven't reached that point in my life yet. So now we move into the meat and bone of my figure collection, and this is the DC wall. Now, I did a lot of trimming of fat, for lack of a better term, with DC figures, because I just have so many of them. So I'm sticking to, I have a rule. If it's Justice League based, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg, it's anything goes. If it's anything else, it's going to be New 52. And then Batman family and villains. So first and foremost, this is the Justice League section, or basically the non-core 7. I have the box figures here. I love this set. And I made sure I got the variant Wonder Woman head that looks much better than the regular Wonder Woman head. Although, if you look up here, the Trinity pack, that is the best Wonder Woman head, which is the centerpiece. But this is the main Justice League section. So you got, I like to call this the Justice League of America row. And then I call this kind of the miscellaneous row, the Earth 2 row. And underneath, I haven't put anything there yet. Still working on that. These are basically all New 52 figures. I'm only really missing Pandora. I think that's the only figure I'm missing from the New 52 set. But yeah, you got everything: Stargirl, Supergirl, Shazam, Hawkman, Martian Manhunter, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, all this fun stuff. And usually the centerpiece is what would be my favorite figure, or the figure that I think best represents that specific tone. So you got like Alan Scott, Jon Stewart, Martian Manhunter, some good stuff. And then I have my Justice League section. So up top is just some Lego Batman stuff, and then my big box sets. And underneath, we have Wonder Woman first. These are all my Wonder Woman figures, with the New 52 standing in the center view. And I made sure I get all the Lego figures, minifigures, and the Scribblenauts ones, which are hard to get. Still have to get New 52 Wonder Woman, but sorry, I'm still recovering from COVID. That's what happens when you have children. They can get you sick. This is the Superman section. All the Superman. Superman and Wonder Woman are some of my two biggest sections outside of Batman, so it's kind of getting cluttered. I'm going to have to maybe dedicate another section to her. Him and her. I said her. Her. A mix of him and her. This is my Hal Jordan Green Lantern section. All Hal Jordans. Again, usually my favorite figure is in the center, and all the Jim Lee figures are my favorite figures of each respected character. They did a fantastic job with that set. Here's Barry Allen the Flash. And again, this is not excluding comics. As you can see, we have from the Batman, from Justice League Unlimited, from the TV show, everything. You can look up here, and Green Lantern, you even have movie stuff, so it's everything. Aquaman down here, building on the Aquaman section. And then right here is Cyborg. So Cyborg sadly has the least because there's not many Cyborg figures out there, but the Earth 1 figure is coming out soon, so I'll add that to collection. And then here's the big ones. Here's Batman. Yeah, New 52 in the center. But here's, I broke this up into sections. This is the New 52 section. So everything here is kind of New 52. Underneath is what I call 90s or modern era Batman. Let me just sit down. This would be all like stuff from 2000 onwards, before the New 52. And then underneath, I have Batman from other media. So we got the TV shows, the movies, kind of TV shows here, and then a movie in the back, and then video games. So this is basically all non-comic book Batman. This is Batman from the 80s back, or the 90s back, so you see more of a classic Detective Batman look. We have Azrael in there, but first appearance Batman, Golden Age Batman. Underneath is Batman Elseworlds. This is Batmans from stories that aren't in continuity. So it's like you have Earth 2 Batmans, you have Batman Beyond, you have Dark Knight Returns, you have the Justice Batman, which is technically out of continuity. When it was, technically could be debated. Up here I have Mirror, the Brightest Day one. I got this figure because I really wanted it, and then when I looked online, it was actually pretty expensive, and I kind of can't help but leave it in package. I just can't take it out. I don't know why. It's a nice looking figure. It really is. And there's a Deathstroke figure. I'm going to make a Deathstroke section because he's my favorite villain. So this is the Dick Grayson section. Everything that encompasses Dick Grayson is going to be here. And then underneath, we have a Jason Todd section. You guys seeing a theme here? Yep, all Robins. Underneath is going to be a Tim Drake section. And I'm still wanting, I know there's a few Damian figures out there, but I haven't gone and grabbed them yet. Then you have Barbara Gordon, Batgirl section. And underneath you have Catwoman. All the different Catwomans I have. She's a little harder to see because she blends in a little bit more. But yeah. And then moving onward, this is going to be the villain section. So we have the big figures, Darkseid, Lex Luthor, Parademon. Underneath we have Harley Quinn. The reason why I gave Harley Quinn a separate section is just because I have so many of her, and she's a pretty cool cat, so might as well. The Crime Syndicate. And underneath is just the remainder ones. So I'm going to make a Deathstroke section eventually, but I haven't got there yet. Now we're coming around, and this is going to be all video game section. And as you can see, there's a lot of clutter there, so ignore that. But we have posters. This is all the posters here are going to be Zelda posters. We'll get to each one of them, but this section here is going to be for Sonic the Hedgehog. And then there's the amiibo. Underneath that is Mortal Kombat X figures. Underneath that is Mortal Kombat 9 figures. And underneath that is Assassin's Creed. And I got to start collecting Assassin's Creed again because I kind of stopped after Unity. Then we have some video games and my Nintendo stuff. So this is all Nintendo. So we have my GameCube games, my 3DS games, my DS, my Nintendo Game Boy, and my Game Boy Advance games there. Then we have my Wii U games here. And then down here I got my Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and N64 games. And then up in the center here, we have my Zelda figures, which definitely needs to be added to. But we got one of my favorite figures of all time, the SH Figure Art link right there. Got a couple of amiibos floating around there too. Then there's Charizard, with a couple of miscellaneous Pokemon, but it's all Charizard. Got Samus down here. We're going to definitely add to her. There's not much Samus when it comes down to figures. Here's a bunch of the amiibos I have. I don't have as good of a collection as a lot of people, but it's a work in progress. My little Yoshi section. And then we move to Mario. And then after Mario, we got small Luigi section. And then this is kind of miscellaneous. Donkey Kong, Wario, Bowser. We have the game systems and the TV. We got the Wii U, the Wii, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox, and then my older systems are downstairs. This is going to be my PlayStation section, my Xbox section, and then pictures of my wife, Goku, and then some Bioshock because fucking Bioshock is awesome. And then we have some Zelda stuff that just couldn't fit. This are some of the Zelda posters I have. Majora's Mask. We have Link Between Worlds. My favorite one, Skyward Sword, and the multiple different links. And then you saw the Ocarina of Time one. And these are bead designs that were made by my friend. So I made those up. We got Zapdos and Charizard here. I want him to do one of each of my favorite Kanto Pokemon. But yeah, that's basically the room. Still a work in progress, but I'm pretty happy with it. You didn't see it, but this is the D&D table here. Right now I'm just putting miscellaneous stuff on it while I'm going through. And then DC Dice Masters, which I kind of got into collecting them, but no one wants to play it with them. So it's actually a nice game. But yeah, still work in progress, but I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm going to post this video up today. And then, given I have time, I'm going to do kind of an update video and kind of just give you my general thoughts on comic books, movies, video games, anything along that lines. And we'll kind of go from there. And then hopefully I can reestablish a regular, semi-regular basis of doing videos. But comment down below if you have a question. I can answer in the next video. And two, throw at me what you think my favorite, your favorite section of my room is. It's not the most impressive collection in a room, but I like it. It's my little sanctuary. If I just need to get away from stuff, it's all here. Everything. And I can just relax. But yeah, so thank you very much for watching the video, and this is Andrew saying peace out for now.